What if a single tiny number, 92, hidden deep within your Social Security record, could mean an extra $100 to $200 every month, or potentially thousands of dollars in retroactive payments in 2026? And here's the most alarming part. Most retirees are never given an explanation about this by the SSA. Hello everyone, I'm Benefit Report. Today we're going to talk about the Social Security's secret code 92 payment, what it means for your benefits in 2026. Starting in 2024, code 92 is being triggered more frequently as the SSA reviews errors related to COLA adjustments, income statement, earnings record, inaccuracies, and mistakes when transitioning from disability to retirement. Some of these adjustments are only corrected within a 12-month window. If you don't spot the error and ask in time, that money essentially vanishes, despite you having contributed to the system your entire life. In this video, I will help you understand what Code 92 actually is, which groups are most likely to be hit the jackpot in 2026, the 4 steps to check your Social Security account yourself, and what to do if you suspect you are being underpaid. Mary in Oklahoma received an extra $428 with just one line of Code 92. James in Michigan saw his benefits increase by $164 per month, nearly $2,000 a year. So, what about you? Now, I want us to take a broader look to understand why Code 92 is appearing more and more frequently between 2024 and 2026. When we talk about Social Security, we cannot separate it from the current economic context of the United States, because every external fluctuation directly impacts your monthly benefits. In recent years, inflation has become a constant pressure. The price of food, rent, medical expenses, gas, and electricity have all increased faster than the income growth for most retirees. I know many of you have to closely monitor your monthly Social Security amount, because a difference of just a few dozen dollars can affect your ability to cover essential costs. This is precisely why every adjustment, every small error in the system, becomes a big problem. More importantly, the annual COLA adjustments do not always keep pace with the reality of rising prices. This causes the real value of your benefits to shrink. While many people still believe their Social Security has increased fully according to the announced rate, but behind that increased figure is an aging technology system that uses many outdated processes and a number of small errors that have accumulated over time. These errors can stem from an unupdated earnings record, an incorrect benefit type conversion date, or COLA amounts not being applied in the correct year. Entering the 2024 and 2025 period, the Social Security Administration, SSA, has been forced to conduct a massive review, internally referred to as a recalibration. This is the most comprehensive adjustment in over a decade, aimed at re-examining old COLA amounts, reviewing earnings records, cross-checking cases transitioning from disability to retirement, and addressing accumulated errors from many years past. And it is precisely during this review that internal adjustment codes like Code 92 are beginning to appear more frequently. In other words, Code 92 is not a new thing. It has existed for a long time, but only when the system is forced to self-correct do recipients start to see its impact. The fact that a large number of records are being tagged with Code 92 shows that many errors have existed quietly for years without the recipient ever knowing. This raises a crucial question for everyone who relies on Social Security benefits to make ends meet. If the system has had to actively review and fix errors using Code 92, it means that some money was not calculated correctly or paid out at the right time. So, the fair question that each of us needs to ask is, are you among the group being underpaid without having been notified? This is why I want you to closely follow the next section, as it relates directly to your wallet and your benefits in 2026. We now move to the most important part of this entire topic: decoding what Code 92 in the Social Security system actually is, and why it has the potential to affect your benefits in 2026. This is the section where I want you to truly focus, because if you understand it correctly, you will know exactly what to check, what to look for, and why your money might sometimes be short without any explanation from the SSA. First, I want to clarify one thing. Code 92 is not the name of a program. It is not a form of aid like Medicaid, SNAP, or a new benefit that Congress has just passed. Code 92 is an internal processing code belonging to a group of payment adjustment codes. In the SSA's system, monthly payment transactions always come with codes that explain the reason for an adjustment, an increase, a decrease, or a retroactive payment. These codes only appear during data processing, and usually only specialized staff see them. Code 92 is one such code, and over the past 2 years, this code has begun to appear with greater frequency. Technically, Code 92 falls into the group that the SSA calls retroactive benefit reconciliation. I will explain this simply so it's easy to understand. Retroactive benefit reconciliation is how the SSA restores amounts that you were supposed to have received in the past, but due to some error, the money was not paid correctly. To put it bluntly in everyday language, when Code 92 appears, it means the SSA has realized they owe you money from the past. The detection of an error leads to 2 forms of adjustment. One is a lump sum catch-up payment, often seen as a strange deposit in your bank account. The second is an adjustment to your monthly benefit amount, causing the money you receive from that month onward to increase. There are also cases where both happen. You receive a retroactive payment and a benefit increase. So when is Code 92 triggered? This part is very important because it tells you whether your record falls into the risk group, delayed or incorrect COLA application. Code 92 first appears when the SSA finds a delay or error in applying the cost of living adjustment, a COLA, from previous years. COLA increases are announced annually, but in practice, applying them correctly to every single record is not simple. Some groups of recipients have the COLA applied a year late, 2 years late, or even more, especially those who switched benefit types or have complex records. If the system detects that the COLA was not added correctly, Code 92 will be activated. Missing or late earnings record updates. The second common case is when your earnings record is missing income updates or is updated late. Your lifetime retirement benefit amount is based on your earnings record. If a working year was not counted correctly or was missing income, or was updated late by the SSA, the system must recalculate your benefit. When that process occurs, Code 92 can be used to mark the retroactive payment or adjustment. Errors in transition from SSDI to retirement. The third cause is errors when switching from Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, to retirement. Those who received disability and then switched to retirement benefits at full retirement age often have more complex transition records. In some cases, the system transitions at the wrong time or miscalculates the primary insurance amount, PIA, leading to them being underpaid for a long period. When the error is reviewed and corrected, Code 92 is triggered. Delays in applying new regulations. Additionally, there are cases related to newly issued regulations that the system is slow to apply, leading to benefits not being updated at the right time. This is not a unique error. It happens quite often when the SSA upgrades its system or adjusts calculation rules. A reasonable question many people ask is, if Code 92 relates to underpayments, why doesn't the SSA officially announce it? The reason is that Code 92 is not designed as a public program. It is an internal SSA code used to flag the error correction process. These types of codes are not publicized because their role is only a technical description, not a new benefit. In most cases, recipients only see a strange amount of money in their bank account or a small note in their payment history without receiving an explanatory letter. In some cases, the code only appears in the internal system, and you receive the money without ever seeing Code 92 in any document. In other words, Code 92 only appears when the system has to self-correct. And because this self-correction process is not always clearly explained, the duty of every Social Security recipient is to monitor for unusual payments and ask the SSA for verification when necessary, in the context of 2024 to 2026. As the SSA runs its largest review program in over a decade, Code 92 is a signal that the system has found something wrong in your record. The only question I want you to ask yourself right now is If they had to fix errors for others, could there be uncorrected discrepancies in my record too? This is the core point we will continue to analyze in the next sections. I want you to really take a few minutes to scrutinize your own record because Code 92 doesn't appear randomly. It is usually activated for groups of people whose record characteristics are prone to errors. And during the 2024 to 2026 period, as the SSA is simultaneously reviewing data, the following groups are the most likely to see an adjustment or retroactive payment. Recipients of widows' or widowers' benefits. I have looked at many records in this group, and the common issue is that they had to switch from their own benefits to those of a deceased spouse. This process seems simple, but in reality, there are many points that easily lead to discrepancies. First is the timing of the switch. If the transition happens too early, too late, or is processed incorrectly in the system, your benefit amount can be off by tens of dollars per month, accumulating into a large sum over many years. Second, the COLAs for the two types of benefits are not always synchronized. The system sometimes correctly applies the COLA to the primary benefit, but misses the COLA for the survivor benefit, causing the recipient to be shorted money for a period without realizing it. In such cases, when the system detects the discrepancy, Code 92 will be activated to retroactively pay the difference or adjust the benefit amount. Individuals who transitioned from SSDI to retirement at full retirement age. This is a group I often warn about because disability records are already complex, and when transitioning to retirement, the system must recalculate a whole series of factors such as PIA, transition timing, COLA rates during the disability years, and subsequent adjustments. If just one of these steps is processed inaccurately, you can be underpaid for many months or years. There have been cases where recipients didn't even know they were being undercalculated until a strange sum of money appeared in their account, and they called the SSA to ask. Upon review, the SSA employee informed them that it was an adjustment related to Code 92. Those who took early retirement but later returned to work and had additional earnings. When you take early retirement, your benefit level is calculated based on prior earnings. But if you later continue to work and have additional income, the system is responsible for updating your earnings record and recalculating your benefits accordingly. However, in reality, the earnings update does not happen immediately. Some records are delayed by a year, some by 3 years, and in some cases, the earnings are missed entirely. This leads to your monthly benefit being calculated lower than the accurate amount. When the SSA runs a cross-check and realizes your earnings have increased, the system must adjust the benefit. And this is when Code 92 appears as a signal that a retroactive payment or benefit increase is being processed. Individuals whose COLA increase doesn't match the official announcement. This is a sign many people overlook, thinking the difference is due to taxes, Medicare Part B, or other deductions. However, if you compare the COLA increase rate seen on TV or in the news with the actual increase in your account, and find it doesn't match the percentage, that's the time to look closely. An incorrect COLA is one of the most common causes of underpayment, especially when the recipient changes benefit types, moves states, or has complex earnings. When the system detects a missed or misapplied COLA, Code 92 can be activated to correct the error. To help you visualize this, I want to reiterate a few real-life examples we mentioned earlier. Mary in Oklahoma received an extra $428 with no explanatory letter, just a line of Code 92 in her payment history. James in Michigan saw a $164 increase per month after the SSA reviewed his earnings record, equivalent to nearly $2,000 per year. Teresa, a widow in North Carolina, received $612, and only when she called the SSA did she learn it was an adjustment, because the system found her survivor benefits, COLA, had been misapplied in the past. These cases are not isolated and certainly not rare. During the period when the SSA is conducting its major review from 2024 to 2026, the likelihood of errors within these groups being discovered is higher. Therefore, if you find yourself in one or more of the risk groups I just mentioned, you have a very good reason to thoroughly check your Social Security account before entering 2026. This is not something to put off. This benefit is directly related to the money you contributed throughout your working life and the money you will receive in your remaining retirement years. Let's be very clear about how Code 92 can impact your benefits in 2026. This is no longer a technical story or an internal code. This is a story directly related to your wallet, the amount of money you receive monthly, and the total lifetime benefit you contributed to earn. If we don't understand this clearly, we could miss out on money that rightfully belongs to us. First, Code 92 can lead to three main types of results. Lump sum retroactive payment. This means you might receive a strange deposit into your account without a detailed explanatory letter. This amount can be a few $100s. Some people receive a few thousand, depending on the magnitude of the past error and the number of months the system determines were undercalculated. This lump sum payment is to make up for the portion you should have received earlier. The system failed to pay at the correct time. I want to emphasize once again, this is not aid or a bonus. This is your money being returned. Increase in monthly benefits from the adjustment date onward. When the system finds that your past earnings were not fully updated, or that a COLA was missed in a certain year, or that a benefit transition was incorrect, your monthly benefit amount can be raised. This figure usually ranges from $50 to $200 per month. This might not sound like much, but if you look at it long term, the way a financial professional evaluates a stream of retirement benefits, you will see it as a very large sum. Let's do a simple calculation. If someone is receiving a benefit amount that is $100 short per month, and the system detects the error in 2026, it means from that year onward, they will receive exactly $100 extra per month. If they live for another 15 years, the total added amount will be $18,000. And the alarming point is that if this error is not fixed, that entire amount will vanish from the recipient's financial life. That is why Code 92 needs to be understood and checked seriously. A combination of both. This means the recipient receives both a lump sum retroactive payment for past undercalculated months and an increase in benefits for future months. This is the form we have seen in many recent real-life cases, especially during the SSA's large-scale review from 2024 to 2026. So why is 2026 so important? The reason is that the SSA is in the midst of a multi-year recalibration phase. During the 2025 to 2026 period, the agency continues to review all COLA data from the past decade, check unmatched earnings records, review transition files between disability and retirement, and cross-reference previous adjustments that were handled manually. In other words, this is the phase where many accumulated errors from years ago are being found and corrected. This means the rate of recipients seeing a Code 92 type adjustment will continue to rise. If you notice your benefits unexpectedly increasing in 2026, or a strange retroactive payment, it is highly likely the result of this review process. Every retiree living in the context of rising living costs understands that every dollar counts. Therefore, an increase of $50, $100, or $150 per month can make a huge difference in the ability to cover expenses. And if the undercalculated money stems from an error that persisted for years, receiving it back is not just financial, it is the equity and fairness you deserve. The point I want you to remember is that Code 92 is not a signal that you are being favored. It is a sign that the system is correcting things that should have been accurate from the beginning. As we enter 2026, this will be a crucial time for you to check, cross-reference, and ensure your benefits are being calculated correctly. Because if this error is not found, you will not only lose money in the short term, but also a significant amount over the rest of your life. The information about Code 92 is only valuable if you know how to check your own record. Many retirees receive adjustments without knowing why, and many others are underpaid for years without realizing it. Therefore, I will guide you through 4 simple but important steps you can take to check if you are connected to Code 92. This is a process I recommend everyone do at least once a year, and especially before entering 2026, as the SSA continues its broad data review. Step 1. Log in to your online SSA account. You should go to ssa.gov/myaccount. If you don't have an account yet, take a few minutes to create one. The account creation process is not complicated. You just need your email, social security number, and identity verification. After logging in, go to the Payment History or Benefit Details section. This is where your entire payment history is displayed. In this step, the important thing is to look for deposits that do not match your regular monthly amount. If there is an amount that arrived on an unusual date, or the amount suddenly increased or decreased, or if there is any note related to adjustment, recalculation, or correction, you need to record it. That could be the first signal that your record has been adjusted via Code 92 or a similar error correction. Step 2. Review official SSA letters and notices. These letters can be downloaded directly from your online SSA account. Open your recent benefit letters and scan the lines that contain words like post-entitlement adjustment, recomputation, retroactive payment, or any explanatory code that you don't understand. Those seemingly dry lines of text could be the key to helping you understand why your payment changed. I often advise viewers to write down the sections they don't understand or take a screenshot. We will use this information in the step where you call the SSA, because speaking clearly and specifically will help the representative look up your record faster. Step 3. Systematically review unusual amounts from the last 12 months. You can use a piece of paper or a note on your phone with 3 columns: month, amount, notes. Circle the months where the amount received suddenly increased, the months where a strange deposit appeared, or any instance where your COLA increase did not match the officially announced rate. This is the baseline data you will need when dealing with the SSA. Many people ignore these small signs, and by the time they notice, it's too late to request a retroactive adjustment. Step 4. Call the SSA directly. This is the most crucial step. Call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213. Note that when you speak to a representative, you should not ask a general question like, "I want to ask about my benefits," because that is too broad, and they will waste time trying to figure out the issue. Instead, state clearly, "I am calling because I noticed an adjustment or an unusual payment on my record, and I want to know if there was a recalculation or a Code 92 type adjustment applied to my account." This approach gets straight to the point, helping the SSA employee immediately understand what you want. Then follow up by asking 3 important questions. Was I underpaid in the past? They will have to check if any amount was undercalculated previously. Are there any retroactive benefits I should be aware of? This helps you know if there are any other catch-up payments you haven't received or that are pending. Is there a time limit for corrections? This question is especially important because some adjustments are only considered within a 12-month window. If you don't raise the issue at the right time, the opportunity may pass, and the money you should have received will no longer be eligible for retroactive payment. I want you to remember that these 4 steps are not complicated procedures. This is how you protect your own benefits within a system that is sometimes imperfect. As we move into 2026, this will be a crucial period to determine whether past discrepancies in your record have been fixed correctly. And you are the one who must be proactive to ensure that the money that belongs to you is not missed again. Code 92 is only one of many adjustment codes the SSA uses during the review and error correction process. The absence of this code does not mean your record is free of errors, and it also doesn't mean you don't need to check further. The first thing you need to do is recheck whether your COLA increase matches the announced rate. Many recipients only look at the final amount and assume everything is correct, but when the actual percentage increase is calculated, the number doesn't match. This is a sign that a closer check is needed. Next, you need to review your earnings record for previous years. Missing or underreported earnings is one of the most common causes of undercalculated benefits. If you have ever switched from SSDI to retirement or transitioned to survivor benefits, those are also times when errors are likely to occur, especially when the system processing is not synchronized. If during your check you find any unexplained increases or decreases, you have the full right to ask the SSA to provide a written explanation. This is not a complex request and is your legitimate right. And if you feel your record may have been miscalculated for many years but you don't know where to start, you can consider seeking help from a benefits counselor or an attorney specializing in Social Security. They can help you review your record in greater depth and determine if there is a basis for requesting an adjustment. What I want to emphasize is that our goal is not just to find Code 92. What is more important is whether you are proactive in protecting your Social Security benefits. In a system with complex data and many automated processes, the recipient's proactivity is the final layer of protection to ensure that your retirement years are secured correctly according to what you contributed. I want to conclude today's topic with a very clear message. Code 92 is not a secret created to cause confusion. It is a sign that the Social Security system is having to correct errors that have existed for many years. These errors can be small or they can be large, but they all directly relate to your financial benefits. And in the context where the cost of living has been rising faster than the COLA for many years, every dollar matters. What I hope is that after this video, you not only understand what Code 92 is, but more importantly, you know how to check yourself, cross-reference, and ask questions when you see something doesn't add up. Social Security is a benefit that you spent your entire working life contributing to. Therefore, no one can protect it better than yourself. Whether Code 92 appears in your record or not, the most important thing is proactivity. Simply by checking correctly, asking the right questions, and monitoring your payments, you are protecting thousands of dollars that could be missed. This video was built from public data sources, including statistical reports, market analysis, information from government agencies, and reputable professional studies. Our goal is to provide a clear, objective, and updated reference perspective so that retirees and their families have a better basis for choosing a suitable place to live, not just for the present, but for the long-term future. We do not represent any government, organization, or real estate company, and have no intention of promoting or favoring any particular region. Every individual has different circumstances, needs, and priorities, and we respect the diversity of personal choices. The channel always aims to share information that is constructive, neutral, and provides practical value to the retiree community. Thank you for watching Benefit Report. If you found this information useful, please share it with family or friends who are receiving Social Security so they don't miss out on important details regarding their own benefits. And don't forget to follow the channel for the latest updates that directly affect your wallet and your life in the years to come.